Good morning.
Good morning. Can everyone hear me?
Oh, feedback.
Yeah, I know. I gotta fix that.
I can hear now.
It's me. Okay, can you guys hear me now?
Oh, much better. Thank you.
Okay, I forgot to turn the volume off on my laptop. Okay. Oh. Here, I'll shut the doors so you don't have to hear me talk all day. I go. Can everyone see me now?
I can see the slide deck. I can't see you though.
I can see you.
Okay. I'm gonna pin myself so you guys can see me.
I see productivity coaching. Jackie,
There's two productivity coaching. It's kind of confusing, but you have to do it that way unless there's no one in my room with me. So there's no point to turning the camera on.
Okay, now I got it.
Okay. So I'm going to just start off by introducing myself. What time is it?
9.
Let's see. Exactly 9. Should we wait a couple minutes? But in the meantime, I guess we can introduce each other, or ourselves to each other. So I'm Tracy, I'm the productivity coach in Castle Rock. And I'm going to be your instructor today. So Jackie, you want to tell me a little bit about yourself?
Well, I'm pretty new. I got my license about a couple months ago, but didn't really do anything with it. So my daughter got married August 20th. So after that is when I really started.
Okay. And Jackie, what's your last name and what office are you with?
Rademacher, and I'm at Arvada.
Okay. All right. D. Sheriff.
Whoops. My name is Diane Sheriff. I am out of the Arvada office. I've had my license since mid-July. That's about it. Nothing too exciting.
You had any luck lead, Johnny?
No, not really. It's not been the best. So
Yeah.
Just gotta learn.
No, exactly. Keep yourself educated. Okay, and then we have Mary Ann. Okay, I'm not sure if she's on.
I'm sorry, I'm having troubles with I'm here. Just trying to figure out how to make my video
Oh,
work.
show up.
I'm here though.
Okay.
Listening.
In what office are you with?
I'm at the Foothills, Evergreen Foothills
okay.
office. Yeah.
All right, great.
I started in like, I don't know, June or July. And I have a second business. So I'm kind of doing the dual career thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what else do you do?
I own a hair and nail salon also.
Oh,
Yeah. So
that's a good
they
way
kinda
to
go together.
generate. Yeah, that's a great way to generate leads.
It is. Yeah. It helps me to talk to people. So it's really good.
Okay. And Diana, is that what it says?
Yes. Yeah, I'm Diana Nichols. I'm with Arvada office. I got my license back in July. Been doing a lot of classes, training. Finally have my first buyer showing today. So that's kind of exciting. But so yeah, just brand new, trying to get started.
Awesome. Okay. Who else do we have? MCW.
Yes, hi, I'm Mark Wilcoxon. I'm out of the Arvada office. Going to be doing work up in Summit County, Park and Lake counties.
Okay, awesome. And how long have you been in the business?
I got my license about 2 years ago. I was with Redfin as a touring agent for a year and a half. I've been with Keller Williams since mid-August. So
I was a lead agent with Redfin.
were you? Yeah, I tried to get a lead agent gig, but they did a hiring freeze and did a bunch of layoffs. So
You don't want it. Believe me, you get paid nothing and you work like an animal.
that was kind of like what I did as a touring agent.
That's true, but honestly, you're better off.
But I did get it, I got to show hundreds of houses, do tons of inspections and open houses. So I've got tons of experience and real comfortable dealing with clients. Right now, I just need to find some clients.
I get it.
That was the one nice thing about Redfin is you didn't have to bother with any of the marketing. They gave you the client and you, worked with them. So yeah, it was definitely a different kind of setup.
It really is. I don't regret doing it because it was like drinking from a fire hose. Okay, so Taylor.
Hi, I'm Taylor Trum, and I'm out of the Arvada office as well. I'm on a team with my dad, Dale Trum, and we're the Trum home team. I've had my license since about April. And so I've just kind of been, under his wing, kind of TCing a little bit for him, learning the ropes. And then I've not like procured any listings or anything on my own yet, but I've definitely helped with a lot of buyers, been more of like a buyer's agent on our team and like assisted a lot with that process. So I know quite a bit about that. And also my mom is a lender, so I'm kind of joining the family business, and like I've basically grown up my whole life with around real estate and loans, so I have quite a bit of knowledge around this area of work. And I'm still in college finishing my degree in marketing, so we'll have that soon.
Awesome. Okay, Chris. Oh, wait, we have another Taylor Vodrock.
Yes. I logged in a bit late, but I think I got the gist, kind of introducing ourselves and then how long we've been in real estate. Is that it?
Yeah, just tell me a little bit about yourself, how long you've been doing it, have you closed any transactions, things like that.
So I got my license in November of last year while I was finishing up school at CU and just closed my first deal on the buyer side. So pretty new still, but also grew up around real estate. My family is in more commercial real estate. So I'm going the opposite route, but hoping to work with my brother, who's actually another KW agent at downtown, but I'm in Avenues. So.
Awesome. And Chris DePiro?
Perfect. So I got my license in July. I'm also with the Arvada office and just trying to round up some clients now. I'm also doing dual career. I'm a personal trainer and assisted stretch manager. So just working around that right now.
Okay. And Elizabeth Rosales?
Hi, I'm Lisbeth. I've been a realtor maybe about a month, I think. Can't remember.
Okay.
I'm at the Avenues. In Arvada, sorry. And I'm working right now with my husband, so I only do these two things.
Okay. Okay. So the people that do not have their faces on, I don't care what you look like, look what I look like, I still have wet hair. Would you mind turning on your camera because it makes it a lot easier to engage with you guys if I can actually see you? Unless you're at work or something.
Can you see me now?
Yes, I can.
Oh, good. Perfect.
How about everybody else? Can you turn your cameras on? Okay. Can Chris? I mean, don't take me to the bathroom with you or anything, but you know what I'm saying? But you see what I'm saying? It's like, otherwise I'm just looking at heads or little icons. So it's much better if I can see you guys. Okay, so how has Ignite been going for you guys so far?
Really good.
Have you been learning a lot?
Yes.
Have you been doing the exercises?
Yes. Some.
Okay, so when we do the exercises, I do want everyone's camera on because believe me, it's not easy, especially when you start out. You have to get out of your comfort zone and start doing it. Because if you don't, you're not going to get clients, period. So when we're doing the all the exercises today, I want your cameras on. Does everyone agree to that?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Again, not to go to the bathroom and not that you can't go grab something to eat or drink or whatever, but for the most part, I'd like to see your faces. All right, so today we're talking about growing your database. What did you guys talk about yesterday with Jody?
Lead generation.
Right, and did you learn a lot from Jody? Jody's like awesome.
Oh, yeah.
You'll learn a lot from Jody. I remember when I started at KW, she taught me and I was like, ooh, she's awesome. So hopefully I can be as equally awesome as Jody, but I'm not promising anything. So let's move on. Let's see here. Why is my, oh, hold on. Hold on. Oh, there we go. So you talked about generating your leads, doing lead generation yesterday. And today, like I said, we're going to learn about how to grow your database. Like I said, you're learning more about your database and how it affects your real estate business. Your database you can leverage your database to cultivate relationships and generate new repeat and referral business. Has anyone started on the success system?
Yes,
And how is that going?
I'm running out of leads.
Are you?
My database is really small, so I can probably run through my database in one day.
So how many people are in it right now?
Right now in my phone is about 100, but most of those are vendors.
Okay.
So what I'm doing is I'm just doing maybe 2 or 3 a day. But
Okay.
once I do those, I really I shouldn't call them next week because they're gonna get tired of hearing me. So that's kind of where I'm stuck at the moment. I need leads.
Okay, we'll talk more about that during this class.
Oh no, awesome, thank you.
Anyone else have anything they'd like to share? So go ahead.
So I have a big database, but I was on with Jody yesterday, and I originally tried to download all my contacts into Command. I thought I had like 400 and something in there. And then yesterday when I went to go try to call, I realized I now only have like 100 and something. I've sent out like 1 email, but I haven't gone crazy with emails. So I'm wondering what happened.
Okay. You're at the Foothills office, correct?
Yes.
And is Chris Voorhees your tech trainer there, or who's your tech trainer?
Chris. Yeah.
Call Chris and he'll help you with that. Because it probably has something to do with you have to put it in a certain format.
Yeah,
So,
something's wrong, but I might just start adding them slowly anyway. I just don't want to. Hopefully, it's not people that unsubscribed. Is there a place to go in and look for that, or?
you can when you go into their name on the right side, you know how it shows you like what smart plans they're attached to and things like that. Well, I'll show you guys Command today, how to do contacts and stuff. But it'll show you if someone unsubscribed there.
Okay. I'm also having an issue with Re Colorado. I've sent somebody, I think she just sent me back. We're good. I sent an auto email out and she said she didn't get it, but I think she just found it. So yay, good.
Okay, good. Good. And make sure you all do the RE Colorado training, because I can't stress enough that if you don't have the information when you're showing a house, you look like an idiot. So you need to print out, this is what I do every single time. I print out a client copy and one for myself. And before the tour, I highlight things I think I should share with my client. And then I also hand it to them. And it also gives them, what's coming next every single time. And they could write notes on it. So if you haven't taken RE Colorado training, you better do it. You have to get really good at it. So what other challenges have you guys been encountering with your success system? I know Diane said it's just quantity. Anyone else have the same issue? No one else? Okay. Do you guys all have accountability partners?
Yes.
Every single person? Put a hand up if you have one. All right. So most of you do. If I were you, I would find an accountability partner. And when you do things in here, if you're someone that you feel like you click with, reach out to them outside. And you can go in the KW white pages and find every single person in KW's phone number. And just reach out to them and do some like script practice, that kind of thing, okay? Have you guys had any luck working with your accountability partners? Like, have you had any ahas? Okay, Diane, would you like to share?
Yeah, so we actually met last night and we have made plans for next week to go door knocking, and then we're going to try to meet every week for a couple of hours to do calls. So yeah, we're talking every day, texting, so it's been good.
Okay, good. Anyone else have any success? My thing is, when you guys go door knocking, make sure you have some kind of a script, that you're not just caught off guard, and something to leave behind of value. Okay? Do you have any idea what you're going to say when you door knock?
Not yet.
Okay. Well, that's something you guys need to discuss like ahead of time, because there's nothing worse than someone answering the door and you look like a deer in a headlight. I was just on something and someone said they actually ran away the first time. And someone actually answered the door. And I'm like, oh gosh, that would be really embarrassing. But, I digress. Anyway, so let me move on. This thing moves. Okay, good. So the agenda for today is we're going to talk about the Smart Bank, building your database, feeding your database, communicating with your database, servicing your database, recaps, and then a daily success system, okay? By the end of the session, you should be able to identify the key information you will need for each contact in your database, determine categories, segments for the contact in your database, and build your business by asking your sphere of influence for referrals. Think back to what you learned about lead generation yesterday, since you started to learn the basics of a database, okay? All right, I want you guys to all find a partner. I'm just going to do a breakout and just have a 2-minute conversation about questions and what you'd like to learn more about. And I'm going to ask you guys to share, okay? So if I could do this correctly, hold on. I remember how to do it. It's been a while, guys. Hold on, I think I got to do it from here. All right. Breakout rooms. Here we go. How many people do we say we have? So I'm going to create, we have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 2 of which are me. So I'm creating 5 breakout rooms. Okay, I'll see you in 2 minutes. Hi, Jackie. Sorry, for some reason you didn't get assigned to anybody. Wait, hold on 1 second. I can't hear you because I had to mute my thing. Okay, go ahead. Pardon me? Yeah, so just tell me, what are some things you want to know about, like learn about today? Oh, no, that stinks. Okay. 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 That makes sense. Okay, well, when we're doing the exercises then, maybe you could just work on your database then. Oh, okay. Okay, sounds good. All right, well, let's go back. Uh-huh. All right, does anyone have anything they'd like to share? Shoot. Hold on. Poor Jackie was by herself, so, okay. Does anyone have anything they'd like to share?
Mark was really quiet.
Yeah.
So Chris and I did most of the talking. I think what we came up with, or at least what I came up with, is on this next step, it's really about how to take a database with very few people and lead gen enough to have some activity, if that makes any sense. So,
Yeah.
okay.
Anyone else?
Hi there. We talked a lot about just organization, and I think we were both saying that we're finding it hard to stay organized with our other lives on top of all the real estate and just trying to keep everything organized is a big one for me and my partner.
Okay. And we're gonna can you hear me?
Yep.
Okay, we're gonna talk about how you can do a lot of that, staying more organized in command by doing tags and things today. So that should really help you. Okay, we lost somebody. Who did we lose? All right.
We lost Taylor. But there's Becky.
Yeah, I see that.
Hi there. Sorry I'm late. I went to Masterminds.
Oh, no, that's fine. That's an important one too. Okay, so let's move on then, if no one else has anything they'd like to share. So this is a quote from Gary Keller. Your database is your business. Building up the number of names in it and relationship with those names is really at the very core of what building a real estate business is all about. Have you guys all thought about your database as your business, or you just think of it as people? Well, you need to start thinking about it as your part of your business. You learned today that how you feed and care for your database will turn it into a data bank from which you will be able to predictably draw business. Okay. All right. So let's talk first about the Smart Bank. We're going to be going deep into how to bring your new repeat and referral business from your database. We'll start with getting a look at the big picture of what a database is and why you should use one in your business. Does anyone have any questions like so far? Does anyone understand really what your database is? Can someone give me a definition of the database?
I would say your database is like you have your sphere of influence and then you have your database. Like your database is when you kind of like capture people from your sphere of influence and enter them into a system. That way you can stay in touch with them. So like whether that's you physically getting in your database, calling them, emailing them, texting them, or setting up like a drip campaign, either one of those, and is like being able to stay in touch with your database. Also, like another thing that is really important is that if you're trying to physically stay in touch with your database, that you're going in and updating your information, seeing if they got a new email or when their birthday is or those type of things. That way, maybe say it's their birthday tomorrow. Last week, you could have gone in there and seen that it's their birthday next week and sent them like a cupcake or a card or a text message, whatever it is.
Right. So actually your database is a combination of both, right? And we can distinguish people differently. Leads are people who have expressed interest in a service or offering, right? So let's say you put out a Facebook ad, or you are at like, I'm in Castle Rock, a big event here is like the star lighting. And let's say you're going to do a drawing or something like that. So you start getting people in your database. Those are people that have expressed interest, because honestly, if they don't have any interest, you're not getting their real information. You're going to get like Donald Duck at yahoo.com or something. So those are your leads, right? And then you also have your contacts, that you have people that you have relationships with, right? You know them and you have permission to engage with them. So do you guys think you're going to be treating those two groups differently when you're marketing to them? 100%. We really, in real estate, we tend to focus on the sphere. And today we're going to focus on your sphere of influence and our success system time. Your first task will be to fill your database with your sphere of influence, which it sounds like a number of you have already done, correct? Or have started.
Yeah.
Okay. So here's like a good example of what a database is. It's a container that holds the contact information for all your leads and contacts, right? And they're all in one system. But you see, there's some people orange, some people gray. And the way you engage with them and spend your money, you get way bigger bang for your buck, engaging and spending your money more on the people that you already know. Can anyone tell me why that is? It's because they know and trust you, right? Or at least they know you. They don't know if they can trust you with real estate, but part of your job is going to be to convince them that they can, right? And making sure that you're marketing to those people and connecting with those people in a meaningful way and providing some kind of value, okay? So again, your relationship is about database management. You're key to your business and does a lot for you. So here's another example. A database keeps you organized. We talked about organization, right? So that you can run your business effectively and efficiently. It keeps a comprehensive record. Remember, you were talking about like being able to kind of remember what you did of communication, the relationship through systemized communication. A database will help you automate other tasks. How many of you have put people on neighborhood nurtures? The monthly neighborhood nurture or bi-weekly neighborhood nurture, depending on how active they are looking. That is the very first thing every single person in your database should be on. And I'll show you how to do that if you don't already know, okay? A well-maintained database holds value and can be sold if you choose to retire or close your business, right? So you can start a team, right? Or let's just say you're like, hey, I'm 82 years old and I'm tired of going upstairs showing people homes. You could actually sell that database to an agent, maybe just starting out, or someone else that was on your team. An organized and smart database sure beats a notepad of names or sticky notes or any other non-automated system. Would you guys all agree with that? Right. All right, let's move on. So how many of you have like actually done some command training and kind of understand command? All right, how many of you have heard of Marty Miller? No one? So when I started here, our team leader, Gretchen, said, Tracy, your assignment, and this is my assignment for real, was to watch every single day a Marty Miller video. And it's called the 66-Day Challenge. You can go on YouTube and you can Google Marty Miller's 66-Day Challenge. All of those videos, you have no excuse not to do one a day. They're 4 to 7 minutes. And it teaches you enough to make you dangerous with command, okay? And then I would do like a little thing on our office Facebook page talking about what Marty Miller's talking about that day. So I knew I understood it. Does that make sense? Like I said, you can go to YouTube and just type in Marty Miller's 66-Day Challenge. He has a whole bunch of different versions of it. So go to the most latest one. And then the other cool thing is he also, I think he was like promoted within KW because so many people loved his videos. And now he'll like do videos telling you guys about new things that are happening with command. Like if there's a new integration or something like that that has happened. iPad Pro guy, I can't remember your name. Do you have a question?
Yes, I do. Do we want the 5.0 version on YouTube?
I believe that was his latest one. I can
Okay.
verify that when you guys are
Yeah,
doing
he's got
one of your.
He's got a ton on YouTube, so I'm just gonna go with that one. It has 67 videos, so that looks like the winner.
Right. It like I said, it really will get you going, and they're so short, to the point, right? And if you don't still understand something, YouTube is your best friend. Type in Keller Williams command and what you're trying to do, and YouTube will have a video to tell you how to do it. Okay? Okay, so you learned that command is a smart database that KW makes available to you. We talked about how many of you have already used it. It sounds like some of you have maybe dipped your toe into it, and some of you have not. It's a huge resource for you, and it's free. It's part of what you're paying for in royalties and things. Keller Williams has sunk tons of money into it, right? So use it. It's very powerful. So command is a database of names and contact information, like the contacts in your phone, right? With a lot more information. You have your goal trackers, so you can set up, listen, these are my goals for the year. And once you enter those goals for yourself, you can track your activities and see if you're on point, right? If you're really gonna make those. And if not, you need to step up your game. And right now, it's not super easy to do real estate. So they're saying like people should be doing 3 times what they were 2 years ago, right? So you need to like keep track of what your goals are. And if you're not hitting them, then you need to change something, right? Task manager to track all the things you are committed to completing in lead generation and transaction management. Did you guys know in your contacts, you can set tasks for yourself? And then every single day, it shows you what your task for the day is? Right, you don't even have to keep track. Just log into command, and it'll tell you, this is what you need to do today, right? There's a marketing suite of newsletters, postcards, and other mailers, presentations, and social media posts. Have you guys gone into designs and taken a look at what's available in there? Okay, go in like the buyer and seller section too. Make sure you have your buyer presentation ready to go and your listing presentation ready to go. Okay. Referral net. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
I have a question about just the presentations.
Mhm.
I've those, and to me, it kind of feels like they're hard to put together without having like a buyer in mind, because there's like a lot of customization and fill-ins. Do you have any recommendations on how it, what it would look like to do it just a generic one?
Since I started doing business, I'll be honest with you, it was kind of like my joke when I do my my buyer presentations and I meet people at like Starbucks. This is when I was really an active agent. And I would make a joke about it and say, listen, this is information on the buying process. I know you know how to read, so go through that. You're not going to get a ton of information from people just, giving them a buyer presentation and being like, okay, check, right? It's about having conversations and really learning to listen and delve deeper and making sure that I know that iPad Pro, you've done a lot of tours. How many times have you been on tours and the husband and wife start arguing about what they want? Probably a ton. That's what the buyer meeting is all about, is making sure everybody's on the same page. And that's going to happen through conversation. So Marion, the answer to my question is you make it super generic, right? That's what you should be doing. And if they tell you, and then you have your generic presentation ready to go, right? In like a stack. And let's say you should have talked to them on the phone before you met, right? And kind of get an idea of areas that they're looking for. And then you should use your MLS, right? And you should print out like active, pending, closed, to kind of give them an idea of what that area is doing. And then you do your buyer presentation. But I wouldn't spend a ton until you do it, because I am telling you guys, I've seen like real fights between husband and wives and stuff because they are totally not on the same page. They're not pre-approved. The amount of money they want to spend, right, is completely different. Those are the things you need to be asking during those presentations, not going through your buyer presentation. You need to have that so they understand the buying process, which is very generic. Would you agree? So that would be my recommendation to you. Make it generic, have a file cabinet with a bunch of them ready to go. So if you have a buyer or a listing, you just pull it out of your file cabinet and you go. And you're going to learn a lot more having a conversation, okay? Keep in mind that command is ever evolving, which is why I said if you subscribe to Marty Miller, you're going to see he's going to keep keeping you informed on anything new that is happening with command. And it's super important to kind of keep track of because it's ever evolving. I've seen it change a ton. Okay. So there's 4 laws of a database, right? The first law is building a database. Why do you think you use a database? We've kind of touched this.
Well,
I'm not
because
gonna...
you got
Go
to have
ahead.
a play. You have to have a repository for your data. You can't expect to keep it all in your head.
Exactly.
So this is more of a systematic approach where you can kind of like what Jody was saying the other day, where each day you pick 2 letters out of the alphabet. Those are the ones you target on. So basically, just setting up a systematic approach.
We have an agent in our office who even does. She's a big drop-by person or a pop-by person, sorry, where she'll bring little gifts. But it's super expensive because she has like 1,000 people in her database. So she breaks them up and she switches them out every year. So she'll do everyone in this section, right? And she'll do, I don't know, something for Easter. Then she'll, the next holiday, do this group. And she'll do like 1 pop-by a year for every single person in her database. I shouldn't say every single person in her sphere of influence and anyone she thinks she might have a chance of getting business from. So, and command helps her organize all of that, right? Because she put a tag in there about where they live, okay? So the 4 laws, we already talked about the 4 laws, sorry. This is all new material for us, so we're all getting very acquainted with, I'm sure Margaret and Jody told you guys. Let's move on. Any ahas from that part of it? Okay. So like I said, the first law is to build your database. We've talked about you already doing that through Ignite by making your phone calls. When you guys make those phone calls, are you entering those people immediately into your database? And what kind of information are you getting?
Mainly email, phone, and name.
Yeah. What would be another good way to keep in touch with those people? I got a couple. So you said address, right? Phone, email, address. What about, do they have social media? Do they have Instagram? Do they have Facebook? Because then you can do social media marketing and they're going to be right on your list, right? So even if you don't get that information from them, you should be searching for that too. So once you get their contact information, then you send them a friend request. I don't know how many of you, the younger ones seem to always do Instagram and us old folks do the Facebook. I do highly recommend, depending on your demographic that you're targeting, if you're doing a younger group, you need Instagram. Lisbeth, you look younger. Do you use Instagram or Facebook?
I use Facebook.
Do you?
Yeah.
So the other thing is the young one with the goofy TikTok. I always call it Tonk Tonk. So TikTok. Oh, Taylor Trump, you look really young.
Yeah, I use Instagram, TikTok. There's also a new one called Be Real. That's been
Oh, I know,
really
my daughter
popular.
talks about it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's been really popular. And then like I use Facebook too, but I just gravitate more toward like, Snapchat, Instagram, Be Real than anything. And honestly, I prefer Be Real over Snapchat.
So are you going after some of your friends' parents who might be
Um,
downside?
What I have done, I guess, is like a lot of my friends know I'm a realtor and like they're all very supportive of me being a realtor because a lot of my friends are in nursing school actually, because I almost went to nursing school. And so what I've actually been trying to do is target more of them and like because all my friends are like, I'm 22, so like all my friends range from anywhere from 20 to 25. So I've been trying to target them more like and get them to kind of spread the word. So like obviously I've never really talked to many of their parents. I mean, one of my best friend's parents actually like have like a buyer's agency and a listing agency with my dad and I, just because like they wanted to use, they had it way before I even was licensed as a realtor with my dad. And so like we have them at minimum, but then also like I've been trying to target more of like the people that they work with. So like in nursing school, and then also like nurses that have been established that they work with at the hospital. And then also like one of my friends tried to refer me somebody. She didn't really know like what was going to come of it. Ended up he was an insurance agent and just wanted to see if I wanted to do business, but she tried, which was nice. A lead's a lead. I'll take it wherever I can get it. So I mean, other than that, I've just been trying to target like a lot of the groups of people that like come with my friends versus like only their families, because a lot of their families are already like pretty established and like have already downsized unfortunately, so I kind of missed the boat.
Okay. So that's what I was gonna say. So even if you're young and you're doing Instagram and your target market is people in their 50s, let's say, you're probably better off with Facebook, even though some of us old timers are kind of coming around to the whole Instagram. Now, what if you have someone in your target market's going to be first time home buyers? Where do you think you should be?
Definitely on Instagram, because like a lot, like the other day, like one thing I started doing was I've been on a few webinars, and one of the things that the webinar that I've been on, it's called Tribe of All Stars. That's what my mom has a coach and she puts it on. She talks a lot about like building a social media schedule and how important it is to have like different posts every day, and like how big it is now to make video posts versus just posting. So, because the thing with video posts is even though you might not get 1,000 likes, you'll get 1,000 views. So at least your stuff is reaching a farther audience than just your friends, essentially. So like one post I made the other day, I went downtown Denver, got my ears pierced at this place called Rowan. I took pictures of the place and took pictures of like my ear of like what I had done, and then posted about them and said like stopped into Rowan today, like on my like afternoon off, had a really great experience, kind of like gave them a review in like a local business spotlight. And actually like they're a nationwide company and they're verified on Instagram and like commented on my post. So I'm sure like that.
Oh, that's awesome.
Reach.
Yeah, that's awesome. So the other thing is, so it is true, because we talked about people wanting to do business with people they know and trust. So you can't do all like market stats and you know what I mean? And like business stuff. You have to do personal stuff too. Like your kid's homecoming or, their first day of school, things like that. You're out camping, showing that. But then you always have to do something of value too. So just make like a plan. Okay, so these days I'll do something like personal. And then these days I'm going to do something business related, like market stats, or I don't know, something about real estate, right? Rates. So that is a huge, huge way and very cheap to get more people to know that you're a real estate agent. Don't forget about the social media aspect, okay? I'd also like to add that you could do birthdays, right? You can ask about people's birthdays. And we have an agent here who every single month at the beginning of the month, makes her list of people, and then at the end, like, she said, like, on like the 20th, she'll write all of those cards out, have them ready to go at the beginning of the month, and then she'll put like a little, like where she's gonna put the stamp, she puts what their actual birthday date is. So having that just ready to go, but that's just a tag in command, right? Do they own or rent? That's a super good question, right? First time home buyers versus someone who might be downsizing. Would target the marketing for those people differently? Exactly. Other family members' names, right? Do you know anybody who has been thinking about buying or selling? That's another one. Becky, do you have something?
Yeah, I had a question on the social media thing. So I met with a lender yesterday and he had such great information that I think would be useful for the public. And so I asked him to do a short video that I wanted to post on Facebook and Instagram. And by the way, I think you can post on all of them with one. Yeah, I don't know that you need to limit yourself, but anyway, so I was going to post on Facebook, Instagram, Nextdoor, this video. I mean, is that a kosher thing? He's really smart, a really smart lender, and I was going to do that. Is that an okay thing?
Oh yeah, 100%.
Okay.
Is that Mike?
I'm sorry, pardon me?
Is that Mike that you got the video from?
No, his name is Ryan Campanola.
Oh, and a different one. Okay. Just curious.
Yeah.
No, that's 100%, but is he going to share it? Are you on his video?
I'm going to share it, his video. He's making a video and I was going to share it. I was going to do it yesterday when I was meeting with him, but it was a weird background. It was in a safe way. And we were just talking about it and I thought, it'd be kind of fun to do like a, hey, I'm interviewing you, but it was just a weird background. I wanted it to be a little bit better. So I asked him to do it. He's gonna do a real short video for me. I said, make it your elevator speech. I don't want a long video. So anyway.
And the thing is, if you're basically advertising for him,
Absolutely.
he should reciprocate. So ask him to share it, right?
And I sent him my headshot so he could put, my headshot on some things he asked me.
So are you planning on putting that like in a public, like, are you going to actually advertise on Facebook with that?
No, I'm advertising. It's more of a, hey, here's an educational video about interest rates or whatever. I'm not even sure what he's gonna do, because he was like the 2-1 buy down is a little bit of a, it's okay, but really, why not just go ahead and buy down interest rates for the term of the loan? So he had a lot of really good thoughts, I felt like. And so I asked him to do this video, just a short elevator speech on interest rates and, I said, the purpose is to calm people down about the interest rates and tell them about the creative financing that he can offer.
That's a really good idea. And the other thing is hashtags. I took a social media class and they said you should never post anything without 13 hashtags.
That's a good idea.
Like, make sure you have hashtags in there.
Yeah, great idea.
In an easy
Taylor, I can see you know something about hashtags.
in an easy way to do that, what I do is, like, if you have an iPhone or like whatever smartphone you have, I put every caption that I do in my notes and have my tags in my notes. So it's copy, paste, copy, paste, copy, paste. Because what that also does is, say like you're posting about a listing, you can go back in your notes and just revamp the last caption you made and then copy paste. And also, I've had trouble sometimes where I'm writing the caption in Instagram or on Facebook and I lose it. So keeping it in your notes like that really makes it so like you don't lose it and you can go back to it every time as a reference. And if you have your hashtags in there, use those same base ones you use, add a few extra depending on, like, one that I always do is like based on area. I always do like real estate Colorado realtor, like wealth, investment, financing, lender, those keywords, because those have like, if you like type, literally, if you go in your search bar on Instagram, type in a hashtag, look at what ones have like the most posts under them. That way you're in that like high bracket of hashtags. And two, like I've even had to take it so far as to like when I've forgotten about putting hashtags, I know I have it in my notes. I go back, copy, paste it, edit my post, put my hashtags in, even though I forgot the first time.
Hey, Taylor,
Yeah.
would you mind giving some examples of hashtags for us that don't do social media? Like I assume like you do real estate.
Yeah,
open
real
house.
estate.
Can you
Let me
post
look.
it?
Let me
Have
look.
you
at my-
have you guys done a social media class? Any of you?
Nope.
You should.
Yeah, I have.
And then the other thing is Marty Miller, I know I love Marty Miller. I think I might have a little crush on him. Marty Miller, he does something on Facebook. And basically, if you go into command, and let's say you're going to do an ad on Facebook for a listing. You always have to do, basically, it's the same thing, right, Taylor? Where you're deciding what group of people you're looking for. Your hashtags are basically the same thing, right?
Yeah, so like some of mine are like hashtag for me, like the Trum home team, hashtag investment, hashtag financing, hashtag happy home, hashtag I can help, Colorado real estate, buy a home, sell a home. And like if you do buy a home, sell a home, you can add like the year, like 2022, or under contract, house, home, those different things. Or like when I've done like more personal posts, I try to do like the things that I'm posting about. So like when I posted about Rowan, I'm like hashtag Rowan, hashtag ear piercing, like those type of things. Or like if you're going to post about dogs, hashtag dog, whatever like you're posting about, make sure that is a hashtag in there. But then also try to do specific to your area, because also another thing, like Charles is our team leader at the Arvada office. He's told me like geotagging is a really big thing on Instagram. If you can figure out how to like do the geotagging, especially if like you're in a certain area, and figure out, you know, that can also be a really great way for you to connect with vendors, is like going into their local business saying like, hey, can I take a few pictures of your business and post about it on my page, you know? And then you're geotagging the area, the location, whatever you're in, because also you're in a way helping maybe people who are just moving here learn about the area that they're potentially living in.
Exactly. Exactly. So my recommendation to you guys, because we're not gonna be able to teach you everything about social media today, is take a social media class. Okay? Because it will help you tremendously know how to set up your hashtags and what seems to work and what doesn't. And then the other thing is, I know we talk about like looking at what your audience is, right? So let's say you have a listing and you have a $300,000 condominium. Do you want to have a hashtag for, I don't know, someone looking for a $2 million house? And how about a $2 million house? Chances are you're going to be like looking for people with wealth. You may even like want to add like golfing, yacht club, depending on where you're at, right? Luxury. So like always keep in mind who you're targeting, okay? All right, I guess I digress, but this is a huge conversation. I'm glad we had Taylor on here because she knows a lot more about Instagram than I do. Okay. So next we're going to build your data. What the heck happened here? Hold on. I'm on a whole different thing. We already went through this. I just didn't do your slide. So I'm going to show you guys a little bit about command. Okay. So let me stop and share. And you can, do you guys know that you can create your own tags in command as well?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. So let me ask you guys. Do you guys all know how to do this before does every single person here know how to add a contact and how to add tags?
I actually had a question about tags. Sorry, I have.
Sure.
multiple meetings going on if you hear in the background. For like inputting people in my database, what do you normally tag by? Like for example, I was just kind of going to categorize like family, friends, high school and college. I don't know if that's a good idea or if it should be a different type of tag.
Okay, so hold on, let's look at that, hold on. I have to share my screen first, sorry about that, guys. I had to make sure I had it open. Share screen, where's command? There it is. Can you guys see my command? Okay, so this is my pro coach account. So I have like goofy stuff in here, you'll see. So let's go to the contacts first and then we'll answer your question. So let's add a contact. I'm going to add Goofy Disney, okay? Goofy Disney at gmail.com. Right? You could put lead source on here. So let's say you're tracking. So let's say this was a Facebook ad lead. You could put that in there. And this is actually kind of valuable because again, we talked about sometimes people just want to like put their information in there because they want something, right? Like it might be people have done Facebook ads for like to win a Yeti cooler or something like that, right? So knowing where it came from and how much of your resources you want to spend on that lead, this can be very helpful, okay? Here's the tags. So, I'm sorry, Taylor V. Let's talk about your case. Would you mind going back to that?
Yes. I was just saying, what do you recommend categorizing your database? Because I'm going through and adding like a lot of family friends, high school friends, just kind of starting off. And I was just going to categorize them as like high school and college family friends. And then just didn't know if that was like a good idea.
100%.
Okay.
Because what you're going to send them might be different. So your family friends, are these like friends of your parents?
Yeah, like family friends that we've kind of grown up with.
Right, so they're not going to be first-time home buyers, but
Yeah.
your college friends will be, correct? So your marketing to each of those people would be completely different. So let's add a tag here. College friends. Oh, if I knew how to spell that would be helpful. Friends, okay? Create a custom tag. I'm going to make them purple. Add. Okay, but let's say it's a college friend, but they were there for their master's degree and they're actually in their 40s, right? You can even categorize people by kids. Let's just say they do have kids, your other people don't. Create a custom tag. You can run filters on multiple tabs is what I'm getting at. See it? So you can do tags like that. Does that help you, Taylor? So I would put your college friends in there, but put them under subcategories, right? You could do it by where they live. You may have college friends that live, I don't know, in Fort Collins, some live in Boulder, some live in the Springs, right? Some might live in Lyons, some live in Canyon City, Pueblo. You can even do tags based on that. So let's say you want to say Castle Rock. You want to create a tag just for them so that you can like do marketing focused on people who are college friends, have kids, and live in Castle Rock. Does that make sense, guys? Does that help you? I hope. All right, so let's add more information. So obviously you're gonna want someone's phone or address, right? Here's where you put it. So I'm gonna put my own in, 1283, and it kind of already does it for you. Cinnabar Drive, that's me. You can put people's Facebook URL in there. Do you guys know how to do that? Where you pull up the person's name, then you copy and paste their URL in there, right? Oh, sorry. I'm so used to having a keyboard and now I'm working on my actual computer. Oh, damn you. Okay, hold on. I'm sorry, guys, I don't have my mouse. I'm just gonna put a phone number in here. Okay. And then I create, okay? So now let's say I wanna send an email out. And I'm gonna do filters. So here, I'm just gonna do this first. So I just want it to be kind of just pretty basic. So I'm gonna do just my PC people. We have a very small program here, so no judging. Apply. Then it does that, right? Then you could also do another filter, right? PC. What could be another thing? An agent. Well, obviously they're all agents. But I think you get the gist of it, correct? Oh, Diana? Unmute yourself. Oh, I can't hear you, Diana. You're not unmuted yet. Can you talk, Diana, or no? Did you want to say something?
No, I apologize. I've got a basement remodel going on. So I was saying something to him.
Oh, okay, no problem.
Yeah, sorry.
That's okay. So I'm gonna do a filter, and I'm just gonna get rid of these. And we're gonna do college. College friends. Apply. Here's Goofy. Okay, like Taylor was just talking about. And you can see it's subscribed to a neighborhood. So let's go into smart plans. Add to a smart plan. I've already downloaded these. You guys know where to go to get smart plans, correct? Okay. Hold on. Oh geez, I got so much garbage in here because it's my PC account. Let me do this. Monthly neighborhood nurture. There you go. You can say what date you want to start it on, right? And then this is actually good too. Do you guys know how to add surrounding neighborhoods? Because sometimes it might be like a super small community. Do you guys know how to do that?
No.
No.
So if you go here, and I mean, Chris will teach you some of this too. See where it says suggested neighborhood? If you know what some of these surrounding neighborhoods are, here's Diamond Ridge, which is right next door. Okay, you can add them to it. Some of these other ones, not so much. I'll just do it just for fun. Let's do this one just for fun. Now it's gonna send them information on all of those neighborhoods. So this is actually powerful too. If you have a buyer, right, who's interested in just certain areas, sign them up for the neighborhood nurture, right? And then it'll at least tell them what's going on in those markets. All right. Let me see if there's anything else I wanted to talk about. You guys know how to enter a contact now in command. Any other questions about some of the stuff in command? Oh, here, notes. Remember we talked about keeping track? Add a note. Here you go. It doesn't matter. Add a note, right? So now when you pull them up, here it is. Smart plans, if they unsubscribe, you'll see it here. And then also, we talked about tasks. So I know that Goofy wants to buy sometime in December, right? So I want to reach out to him again, end of October. Right? Priority level, this one's high. And then you can put a date that you want to do it. So I want to do it at the end of October. Create a task. So now if I go to the home page, right here in task, call Goofy. You guys see what I'm saying? This is how you can make command powerful for you to kind of keep track of your clients. All right, any other questions on this before we go on? No? Okay. Do you guys want to take a 5-minute break? Because I know this is a lot.
Okay.
Let's take a 5-minute break and we'll keep going.
Thank you.
Uh-huh.
You go out there? Come on, please, go see.
Someone has a dog. Okay.
Come on, let's go by. Here you go. Oh. Yeah, you got it away because it's right now. Good job.
Is everybody back?
Yep.
All right, I'll just proceed. If you need more help with command, check out command on your database. Like I said, if you guys need database help, YouTube is a huge resource. There's Nick Baldwin has a bunch of stuff. Marty has a bunch of stuff. And we also, each market center has their own tech trainer. So reach out to your tech trainer too if you need help, okay? All right. Any ahas? I'm not sure if the Taylors and Chris are still there. Does anyone have any ahas? Oh, there's a Taylor. One of the Taylors is back. All right. I'm guessing that one of the ahas is some social media stuff, like how important it is, I'm guessing. Yeah? Okay. All right, so let's move on. Feeding your database. The second law is to feed your database. Who remembers from the previous section, what are the pathways for feeding leads, contacts into your database? Prospecting and marketing, correct? Does anyone know the difference? Okay. So I'm just going to go into prospecting first. Prospecting is actively seeking leads and building relationships through your conversations. Prospecting is cost effective, right? And you are able to directly hear if and when the person is able, ready, and willing to do business. Marketing is a passive pathway to feed your database. So that would be like when you're doing some social media marketing to the general public, or you're at an event and you're pulling in people, or I mean, a million other ways that you get open houses, right? Those would be more of your marketing. Your prospecting are the people you know. You add all the people you know, your sphere of influence, and the people you encounter regularly. You add your dentist. That to me, that seems weird. But anyway, you add your dentist, your childhood teachers, your coworkers, and people you know from the neighborhood. Anyone else could think of any other people you might add?
professional services, your banker, your hobby groups.
Great. Anyone else? So I know Diane, I think it was you that mentioned your phone.
Yes.
Did you go through your email contacts?
Let me think about that. I went through my LinkedIn, I went through my phone, and I went through my Google, but I wouldn't say I went through the email list. Yeah, that's probably another one to look at.
And even if you don't have all of their information, again, you can make a tag. You know what I'm saying? For people like, okay, I have their email, I have this, I have, right? So that when you're doing your marketing, you know what you have with people and what you still need. And then, what about social media? Did you add all those people in?
I'm rebuilding most of my social media, but I did add my LinkedIn, or at least the ones that were in the States. Yes.
Okay, great. And that's what you should do. You should go on all of your social media, LinkedIn, anything that you can think of, and add those people in, even if you don't have all their information. Let's say it's someone that you grew up with from the old neighborhood. I'm from Chicago, if you didn't notice the accent. So from the old neighborhood, and you want to reach out to them because you only have them on Facebook. What do you think people are doing to get more information? Any ideas?
Googling.
That's one.
I Facebook message them or
Exactly. You reach out and you just, send a messenger thing, and you guys have it so much easier than people that have been doing it a while. Tell me what you could say when you reach out to them on social media with a message. Just give me an example of something you could say.
well, I just Facebook messaged a friend from a while back, and we had a lot of history. So I just said, hey, how's it going? How's the family? Did the Ford, and then just said, hey, I just got my realtor's license, because I've also, and she's from Texas, but I've also done a lot of stuff with her business. I've been a customer, so anyway. So I just went on about how I just got my license, and I'd love any support or anything to help me build my business. Anybody that's moving to Colorado. And she was super great. She responded and said, oh, that's right. You never know who's going to come to Colorado. I said, that's right. People are coming all the time. Anyway, so it was a good interaction.
How about Sandy? Do you have any ideas of a conversation you can have?
Yeah, pretty much the same. Just reaching out to people who I may not have their phone number. So that's a good way to keep in touch and say, let's meet up for lunch, let them know what I'm doing now,
Yep.
switching gears into this business.
I'm kind of looking for something really in particular that makes it so easy for you guys. Diana Nichols. Any ideas?
Like you could post on Facebook that you were maybe wanting to send Christmas cards this year, and it would people be willing to message me their address and their information so I could get those out to them.
All right, great. Who wants to do a practice with me?
I can.
Okay. You'll be the person I'm calling.
Okay.
All right. So ring, ring.
Hello.
Taylor, hi, how are you doing?
Good. First day of fall, so very excited. How are you?
Oh, great. I haven't talked to you in a while, but I am new to real estate and I was wondering if you would be willing, I mean, you would be shooting the poop too, but we're not gonna do all that. I was wondering if you would be willing to let me like send you some marketing material and maybe sign you up for this neighborhood nurture, because I want to just see if what I'm putting out there is, has any value for any of my clients. And then if you wouldn't mind, I'll just reach back out to you and see, what do you think about it? Like, did you like it? Was there something you think I should do differently? Would you be open to that?
Of course, I'd love to support you.
Awesome. So what is your email address again?
tmvonderak@gmail.com.
All right, I put some social media stuff out there too. So what do you go by on Instagram?
Vonderak.realty on Instagram.
Awesome. And I want to send you this, just send you some market stats for your neighborhood. What's your address again?
1980 18th Street.
Okay, awesome. So thank you so much for all of your support. And if you or anyone are thinking of buying or selling, any kind of real estate, even if it's an investment property, anything, I hope you think of me. And I'm going to set you up to receive some of my marketing stuff. And I'm going to reach out to you. Would next week or next month work for you? Maybe we could even do lunch. Would that be great?
Of course.
All right, awesome. Then I will talk to you in about a month.
Perfect. Sounds good.
All right, awesome. Bye.
Just going off this, I did this yesterday and seeing my friends like be supportive of everyone's kind of like new into this. So seeing all my friends, they're super supportive. I get worried about doing it too, but I like posted it on Facebook. I was like, hey dad, hate to break it to you, but you have to post this on your social media. Like I gotta hit your friends too. I don't follow all of them or they don't follow me. So like I had my dad post it, my uncle reshared it, my grandma's like posting her email on Facebook. I'm like, grandma,
awesome.
So cute. Like not on Facebook, but yes, I have your stuff. But everyone's super supportive. So it's nerve-wracking and like kind of scary because you're like awkward and you don't know if people are going to support you. But it really is better to even like see who does and like who's actually really going to support you through your journey. So don't be scared, just do it.
Exactly. You have to step out of your comfort zone. And like I said, was that easy or not what I just did? It's super easy. Right. How many of you guys know people like to talk about themselves and give you advice? Every person likes to do that, right? So you're asking, you know what? I value your opinion and I want you to use my marketing on you and you can give me some feedback. It's so easy. That's what I said. That's the benefit of being new. Is you can kind of like play like, oh, yeah, I don't know if it's working. So, right? Easy. You have no excuse not to get people's contact information. You may have some jerky people that are like, I'd rather not. But, most people will be supportive, even if they never open it, whatever, you'll get them somehow, at least remember you, right? Taylor, do you have a question?
No, I was actually just going to share another little thing. This is another thing that I've been doing, and it's just probably a little bit easier for me just because I'm in an apartment complex. But I literally made these postcards of myself, and it basically says I'm your neighbor and I'm into real estate, but more so connecting our community. So have a lot of plans and want to hear your thoughts on like what you want to see. So I just posted like a QR code on here.
Awesome.
It just brings them, and I'm like such an outgoing person, but I still get nervous when I door knock. So I've just literally been like hanging these on people's doors and not even necessarily knocking because people are working, people have dogs. Like I always hate when or like babies or anything like that. So like I'm not even knocking. I'm literally just hanging on their door. And like if people want to reach out, they will. So it's just like a super easy way. Also, if you like get a little nervous door knocking.
And that's why I'm saying like have your script ready. And I'm not talking about you have to go in there sounding like a robot. Like, hi, like kind of even when I'm reading you guys this stuff. Like you could see the times when I'm reading and the times when we're just conversing, right? But you're practicing what you're going to talk about. So Taylor, you have a huge opportunity. You're in an apartment building. They have a pool.
Yes, they do. So I have like ample opportunity. I'm in a huge apartment complex. So I hit my floor yesterday and just like left them all on the door, and I'm trying to hit a floor a day. But I'm like, I always tell my family, I'm like, I'm not even really in the business of real estate yet. I'm literally just in the business of like making new friends. So I'm doing like a bunch of things, doing galas, doing events, doing walks, literally
Perfect.
trying to meet people.
That's exactly what I was going to say. You could do a bike club. You could do a, walk club. You could have a hot dog day at the pool, possibly.
I can give someone an example of something that they want to like actually toss out in real life. On Sunday, there is an ALS walk that my family and some of my friends are going to support. It's down in Castle Rock, and I can share the link if anyone wants to blast that out. It's just like simple stuff like that, showing you care, doing things that are active in your community. So that's just another simple thing too. I've just been calling people in Colorado and being like, hey, doing this walk, blasting out to my friends, hey, no one's really doing anything on Sundays. So if you want to do a small walk and support ALS.
And one of my agents in my PC program, she said the most successful postcard she ever sent was, she said, best hiking trails in Colorado. And she had people like reaching out to her because they would hold on to it. You want things that people might hold on to, right? But she said that one she had the best response from, like people actually said, I love that, thank you so much. Or fall color, right? I have an idea for you guys. None of you guys are in Castle Rock, are you? So this is one of my ideas, and I haven't done it yet. I might do it this year. So when I lived in Albuquerque for a little while, and the postmaster used to do this thing that if you sent, and I didn't know this, I just let my son put a note to Santa Claus in the mail. And all of a sudden one day I get a response, and the postmaster would do, I hope no one has kids around that still believe, if you do, put up your hand and I'll shut up. Or be a little sleuthy about it. Okay. So my son gets this response. Thank you so much for the letter, John. And like they had this whole thing planned out. So why not in your neighborhood put a mailbox, a Santa letter mailbox, right? Post in your neighborhood and say that you have Santa, a mailbox for Santa, and he'll respond as long as you give me your address or whatever, and kind of make it a little bit personal. You have a template and you fill in some of the blanks. Is that an awesome way to get people's information? And it would be fun. I don't know if you guys think it would be, but I do, because I love Christmas and I love the little kids. So you can respond to them, right? And you have no idea how excited my son was to actually get a response from Santa Claus, right? And you don't even put any of your branding on it because you don't want to do anything that might tip them off, right? But they know. So that's another idea, like just little things like that make a difference, okay? Anyway, I'm going to move on. Okay. A lot of top agents run highly productive businesses solely on their sphere. So they come to a point in their career, they don't need to do all of the outside stuff. They still do community outreach. Like one of our probably most successful agent teams in our office does things at the high school all the time. They'll have pizza days for the teachers, janitors, every single person in that building. And then to go along with that, they'll give a branded pizza cutter that they can take home with them, like with their branding on it. They do a ton of stuff. So some of it you don't have to make it feel like kind of gross where it's like, I'm only doing this for business. Do it because you want to, right? Because it's just a good thing to do. And then business will come, right? So just always think about it like that. So right now, though, you're trying to build your sphere, right? And then eventually you will get there, but it's going to take a while. So right now, you need to kind of really be hitting it hard so that in the future, you're successful and you're not gonna need to do as much of this. You're gonna do it because you want to, not because you have to. Does that make sense? Okay. So this is a client referral business, right? So that's why we're talking about the database model. New business comes when someone in your sphere begins thinking, right, about about buying or selling. And that's when they're going to think about you, right? Repeat business comes from clients you've helped in the past who were so pleased with the service and experience you provided that they ask you again, right? So that's how I still get business, because I worked with people with, and I'm not going to talk about it again, but I kind of, said where I worked before. And I had great relationships with those people, and they'll like send clients to me, like people in their family, right? Referral business comes from clients who have used you before and know your stellar service and recommend you to people in your sphere. That's why, not just because you want to be a good human being, treat people the way you'd want to be treated. And I always tell my agents in my office, you could financially ruin somebody. That's why we give so much training here, because we understand the importance of it. You're not just trying to sell someone a $30 sweater. This could financially ruin somebody. And if you go in with that attitude and know you want to do best for your clients, you will get referral business. If they know that you're an advocate for them and you care, you will get referral business. But it's the snaky agents who ruin it for the rest of us, that all they care about is the check. Don't think about the check and the business will come. Think about your client and doing what's right for the people, and then your checks will come. Okay? Any questions? All right. Who might your sphere refer you to? Any ideas?
Their family, their friends, their coworkers. Honestly, you may never know, a stranger may come up to them, somebody new they meet and they start somehow talk about real estate, and they may go, oh, I have a great realtor, here's their info.
Exactly. And you might, and that's why some of these online agencies have it harder, because you might take somebody touring, for instance, and then they're talking about going on tours with people at work, and that person says, oh my gosh, I have the best agent ever, and they saved me so much money and negotiated and blah, 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 blah. Who do you think that person's going to use? Some rando from the web, or this person who was highly recommended by somebody you work with and trust, right? So that's the kind of business you're looking for. How do you ensure that your sphere will actually refer you?
Keep your name in front of them.
Exactly. Because there's 40,000 other agents who are going to take your person away if you're not contacting them and providing value and keeping yourself fresh in mind. That's the point, right? And the other thing is just asking for the business. I know I keep looking here because that's where I'm seeing your faces. So you're looking at my side, which is horrible because of my double chin. But anyway, you ask for the business, right? You ask for the referral. You had a really successful closing. What should you be asking for after that closing?
A referral, and there's really good smart plans that I put on yesterday. That was basically.
Oh, really?
Sorry.
No, go ahead. Tell us where you found it.
It's on command. So I just closed a house for one of my high school. I grew up with this kid, and It's just basically a smart plan, and it's 3 like super easy steps. You give them a call, if I'm remembering correctly, and then it'll just send them like an auto email. And it links if you have like a Google business page or anything like that, it can send the email and ask for like a review from them.
Yep, exactly. You ask for the business, right? And then the other thing is, you should have some kind of smart plan like Taylor, because you want them to give you some credibility, right? So giving you reviews. I don't know what you're going to use as Rate My Agent. I think personally the most popular are Google reviews, right? Asking for those reviews. And then you market yourself using those reviews. I have hundreds that I have to choose from. Most of them are like, she's hilarious and fun and blah, blah, you know, but you want to put that out there so people know, you know, that you're a good agent and you're fun. By explaining how to give you a referral, they might not know, right? So call up and say, do you know of anyone that's thinking about buying and selling real estate, you know, in the near future? And then you ask, what would be the next question you ask for? If they say, actually, I do. So what would be the next thing you would ask for? Phone number, name, phone number, how you get in contact with those people. They get all the information you get for a database, if you can, from them, but at least get the phone number. That's the most important. And by sharing how important it is to you, listen, you know, this is how real estate works. You know, I took care of you. I hope you think I did a great job for you. So I will do the same for anyone that you send my way. And it would really help me out. Just ask, tell them why it's important to you. And then thanking them with words and even a gift for a referral. But make sure you stay in the range where you should be. I think it's under 25 bucks. But you guys know the workaround for sending gifts? So you can say it's a marketing cost. Does anyone know the workaround?
Nope.
Marketing. So you can put it on marketing if you put a permanent stamp of your business on there. That is a marketing item. It is not a gift. So if it's a marketing item, it has to stay under $25. But if, let's say, you want to do a closing gift, it has to be something branded to you. Okay? And that's your workaround, and you can claim it as a marketing expense. All right. Your friends and family want you to be successful, right? So, but you got to ask. People aren't mind readers, and people aren't even trying to be jerky sometimes. They just forget, okay? Encourage people to know how to write testimonials. We already talked about this, right? Offer an item of value related to real estate on social media. This could be real estate updates, you know, like we said, the neighborhood nurtures. Some kind of a newsletter that really gives value, right? Or subscribe to your YouTube because you're gonna talk about businesses, or I don't know, like hiking trails or something you're interested in. Dogs, right? Raise your hand if you have a friend, family, and I can't talk. Raise your hand if you have a friend, family member, business contact, etc., that would write a testimonial for you right now. Anyone? Do they have to lie in it? No. So Sandy, do you have anyone, even if they don't live in state, who knows you and knows you're a good person?
Yeah, I mean, I have my brothers and my husband and my children. I'm
So
sure
preferably someone with a different last name should do it. But yeah, exactly. And they don't even have to lie. It's not even like they have to be like, oh my gosh, I bought this house and she's a wonderful agent. Just talk about you, that you're trustworthy, that you care about people, that you're knowledgeable, right? So those people, reach out to people will write a review on you and have them do so. 'Cause you're trying to, build credibility right now.
Hi.
And okay.
This is Becky. Hey, sorry, I got distracted. Someone was texting me, it's a new contact, so I'm excited. But
good.
so I did get a couple of personal referrals because I haven't had a sale yet. It's been a week and a half. But I did get a couple of personal referrals from people at Lockheed, directors, senior managers and stuff like that know me well and worked with me for years. But I'm not sure what to do with those, to be honest. What do
I would ask them to write in your Google, do you have a Google page yet for your business? So I'm just warning you guys, I hope it's better, but when COVID was going on, we had the Google your business stuff. And we had agents who were waiting for their postcards here. They'd be calling Gretchen and I every day. Did you get the postcard? Did you get the postcard? They weren't getting it. But that's what you're going to need to do is have the Google your business.
So create a Google page then?
Yep, a Google your business page. And then what they're going to need to do, because you're going to want to use your office location. And what they're going to need to do is send you unless they've changed it, because I haven't done it in a couple years now, but they'll send you a postcard because they want to make sure you're really there. And then it gives you a code. And once you receive the postcard, then you go back into your Google your business and you put what that code is to verify that that's your business, that you received the mail. And then people can start writing reviews on you.
Okay.
On your business, okay?
That sounds great. And so I wonder, is that where you get the QR codes? I know Taylor, I love the idea that Taylor had for going around and putting those cards on people's doors. Is that what you use for the, I guess? For
there's so many QR code websites that you can create QR codes. You might want to wait 1 second. I can ask Gretchen the one we use.
Okay.
But maybe I'll do that in a minute. I'll ask her in 1 minute. But basically, it's just a website, and it creates a QR code, and you put the link to where you want them to go.
Okay.
Then you print it out.
I learned a quick trick from Taylor.
Go ahead.
You can generate a QR code out of Chrome, out of your browser. And I was just so amazed. I was like, that's so much easier than having to go to a specific website and do it.
I never knew I could do that either.
Yeah, on Google Chrome and I'm sure it's in other browsers as well, but that was the one.
All right, hold on. Can you show us how to do it?
Well,
sure.
I guess my big thing is, where does it send them to? Because
well, that's where you have to give it a link.
Right. But so what is it like? You have I don't have a website.
Right. Diane, you're muted. And then the other thing is, do you know how to share on?
Yep. Oh yeah.
So you can share your screen.
Okay, so one of the things that I wanted to ask, okay, can everybody see my beautiful little mugshot there?
Yes, you look very pretty.
Thank you. So say I wanted to send them to this site, right? Where is it? Oh, here it is. Right there. See? Create QR code.
Holy crap, I never knew that was there.
Now, why I have this page up, I wanted to ask, when we're talking about sending testimonials, we have areas in Command and on our agent pages to leave the testimonial list and the testimonial capture form. Shouldn't we be doing that, or is that just something different we can do?
You can, but you want those testimonials to be in front of new people, right?
Okay, all right.
So how many people do you think are really going to your page if they're searching for an agent? You want, like, people always go to Google.
Okay.
I don't know. That's why I say, I mean, a lot of our agents use Rate My Agent. I'll be honest, I don't know if it's really worth it. You have to go somewhere where people are actually looking for your reviews.
All right.
Where do you guys all go? Yelp,
I just Google.
right? Google or Yelp, usually.
Yeah.
So those, I mean, just decide where you want to send people to look for your reviews, but the thing is, make sure it's somewhere people actually look. I don't personally think people are looking at Rate My Agent. Zillow, that's another one.
Yeah, maybe. Yep.
You can have them rate you there. Like it or not, people use it. That's the #1 site.
Yeah, that's true.
I used.
Yep. I know Redfin always said they were, but they're actually not. It's #1 brokerage site, not #1 site. It would be Zillow or Realtor.com. You can go to either and do something. Okay. All right. Let me see if I can share my screen again. I talk a lot, don't I, guys? I know, but I'm looking at the time and I'm like, oh my gosh. All right. You can leverage testimonial reviews as you build up your business. We just talked about all of that, right? All right. Let's move on. Oh, so funny sometimes. Oh, there we go. All right. I'm supposed to have you participants form pairs or groups of 3 or 4 to brainstorm other ideas or other areas of business or customer service related to their real estate career that they could ask someone to provide a review or testimonial on. Think about what your value proposition is from day 4. You guys remember that from day 4?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Along with any previous job experience. So even if you haven't sold a lot of houses, I'm sure a lot of you have done things that you can relate to real estate, right? You're a great negotiator. Let's say you've worked with contracts before, right? Excellent customer service. I mean, there's a million things you could say. I was in sales, right? Some of the topics could include responsiveness, attentiveness. You guys haven't been in it long enough, but there is nothing worse than being a buyer agent and you're trying to get a hold of a listing agent and they refuse to respond. And this isn't even like back in the day where people were getting 30 emails. There was one time I was trying to get a hold of somebody for 3 days. And he finally called me back from his yacht or something in Florida. And I'm like, you can hear the wind. And I'm like, what a douche. Anyway, so you need to, like every bit of you is like, does this person know they're paying this person 3% and they won't even respond to people calling about their listing? So make that a big deal. It's huge to be responsive to people calling you. Okay, attention to detail, professionalism, empathy, clear communication. So the next 5 minutes, there's not a huge group of you guys. So for this one, I'm gonna have you do it all together, okay? What I want you to do is brainstorm. Write down 5 names that you will ask for a testimonial or review immediately after class. And I want you to share those people when we get back. 5 minutes, guys. Okay? Just, I'm gonna stop, I'll share my screen so you can see each other better. And talk amongst yourself. Can you see each other? Okay, unmute yourselves, everybody. If you can't, on the top right of your Zoom, it says view, go to gallery.
Yep.
Okay?
Mm,
Okay.
All right, I'll be right back.
Okay.
Talk!
We're talking, boy, we're talking so much. So, let's talk, guys. I don't want to be the only one.
I agree. Everybody stand up. Maybe move around. Get your mind stimulated. Come on. Stand up. There you go. There we go. This is my exercise for today. Come on, look alive, people. Look alive.
It's been a long week.
Oh, I understand. These are long days. They are for me. You could hear my voice is going. So just talk though, because this, I mean, if you're dedicating your time to doing it, get something out of it, right? And it shouldn't be on one person to talk. So talk. I believe it.
We're talking about the 5 people that we all are gonna
Yes.
speak to.
Yeah.
Come on, Taylor.
Oh,
What
okay.
are your 5 people?
Oh my gosh, everyone needs to make a list. I was making a list yesterday, and sometimes when I'm like, who am I gonna call? I'm like, well, I have no one. And then I started making this list. And I feel like when I write it down, I just can like branch off and like I'm creating this little like spider web on a doc basically. So I started with family, go through them. So no, I don't have 5 people. I have like 500 people that I need to call. But
Oh my God.
go through and just like write down old jobs. Like I literally called my spa director that I worked for like 6 months ago. And I was like, hey, how are you? And the amount of texts that I got today being like, that made my day. And I'm like, I'm so sorry, because that was not even a very special text. Like, we need to have more eventful days. We need to have better days, but just make a list, because it helps so much to see all the people that you have to call. And then it just like gets you thinking more so. So like old jobs, I'm doing like family friends. And I think it's so easy just to start, because it's literally just that phone call. Hey, you made such an impact in my life. I really want you to know that you provided me so much value in growing up, and I want you to see and watch me grow my business. If you guys want to be at all involved, go ahead and sign up. Give me your email, give me your address. I'm going to be sending out little goodies, little marketing, blah, 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 X, Y, and Z. But start a list, because so many people come from that.
And we're supposed to be writing 5 people that will write testimonials about us.
And people are where we would get those people and what they could say. So like responsiveness, integrity, communication, detail oriented. That will probably show up on mine more times than not, because I'm going back to my old coworkers. Organization, thoughtfulness. What else we got? That's some.
I went back to my old coworkers too, and you know, I started with 2 of them, so I have a few more to add. But you know, I mean, they were the best things for who knew how I worked and respected me, and were able to actually turn it around pretty quickly. And you know, they're people that aren't to be fussed with. So you know, I appreciate their time that they spent doing that. So you know, I mean, I went back to people I worked for and worked with that were happy with my work.
You know, I don't know if this is an idea or not. I was thinking about going back to some of the vendors that I worked on my house with, right? Because when you start working on your house, and Diana will know, you're spending a lot of time with those folks that you guys understand, and you have a rapport between the 2 of you. So maybe some of those.
Good idea.
What, like, Diana and I met for dinner last night, and we talked about, I was telling her about, I reached out to like some of the people that I've like nannied for, babysat for, dog sat for, like people like that even, and asked them like, hey, would you write me like a general testimony of like who I am and like what you think of me, so that I can use it for my business in general. Because you'd actually be surprised when you ask, like when you go to ask people like that 9 out of 10 times they're more apt to do it than they aren't. and they actually will probably have a lot of like things to say about you that you probably don't even realize yourself. And like too, what I told Diana was like kind of like they were saying like choose 5 or 10 people to reach out to and just ask them like, hey, could you send me like 5 words you think of when you think of me, and then see what they come back with, see what's see what's the same and then what's unique, and then pull out like those 5 words you like and like make that a part of your bio or like your value proposition or like whatever you, or like even your elevator pitch. That way it makes it unique to you.
All right, awesome. So did any of you guys think of anybody you wouldn't have thought of? Did you write them down?
Yes.
Yes.
All right. Do you have them anywhere that you will actually look at it? Put it somewhere front and center that you want them to do that. It's really important because, like I said, you guys are trying to build your credibility right now. So it's super important. All right, so we'll move on from this. Let me go back to my share. All right, where am I here? Okay, here we go. All right, so we talked about this. Okay, so I'm on 21, 22. All right, any ahas anybody wants to share? All right, we'll move on. I made you guys talk a little bit ago, so. All right, so the next section, the third law, is communicate with your database. You've learned about the importance of relationships in real estate, along with the different ways you can communicate with your database, called what? Touches, right? By doing touches. All right, let's move on. Here's another quote from Gary. To succeed at a high level in real estate sales, you must commit to frequent contact with the database with the intent of building close relationships. And why is that again, guys? Bueller.
Because it's about people. Is that the answer you're looking for?
Yeah. Right. Exactly. Because who do people do business with? People they exactly. I can't talk anymore, guys. It's been a long day for me too. A lot of talking. How long must you commit to building relationships?
When would you ever stop?
Exactly. Forever, as long as you're in business. It was a trick question. All right. All right, so now like I said, we're doing this. So the third one, communicate systematically. The way you can communicate with your database will depend on whether it's with leads or contacts, right? And remember that in Ignite, we are focusing on attention, on relationship building and strengthening with our contacts, our sphere of influence, right? You guys will hear that so many times, SOI, sphere of influence. On relationship building and strengthening with our contacts, our sphere. Those whom we have permission to have a two-way conversation with. What are some segments or categories you might already naturally have in your database? I think we talked about this a little bit. An easy one is homeowners versus renters, right? Because you're going to market to those people completely different. Taylor and I talked about that already. Because chances are, I'm not 100%, but if someone is in an apartment, they probably are a first-time home buyer. Not 100%, but chances are, right? Versus someone who owns, downsizing, or upsizing. Because it's someone in there who's 22 and just had a baby, and then they're gonna have 2 more or whatever, they're gonna need a bigger house eventually, right? So you need to tag those people the right way. All right, Gary, we're done with you there. Okay. So look at the list you just generated. Since people are more likely to respond when the information you send and communicate directly impacts them, it's important to purposely segment your database so the target message appeals to them. Keep in mind, this is not set in stone, so you can change it, right? It is flexible and will change as your database and your relationships grow and develop. So like Taylor, she wants to put her college friends in there. 10 years from now, they're going to be in a totally different thing, right? Right now, you guys are going to all want to go to Denver and party. But eventually, they're going to want a family home where they can raise their children and they care about schools and they care about all those things. And then 30 years from then people are talking about retiring and downsizing and making their lives simpler, right? So it's going to be ever evolving. So people may belong in multiple segments. We already talked about this, how I created separate tags with different criteria, remember? So it's not like people have to be in one segment, they could be in multiple. Potential ad segmentation could include and are not limited to client, past client, VIP, referral client, special hobbies or interests like military veterans, investors, property type, etc. We came up with a way bigger list than even that, correct? And keep in mind, like, if they were a previous client, like let's say you're doing Popeyes, you may decide to do a way nicer Popeye for those people, right? Or your VIPs versus someone else. So make sure you tag them that way. And people that are like actually sending you business. What are some ways that you might further segment the list that you just generated? I'm supposed to give you guys 5 minutes, but do you guys all agree we talked about this ad nauseum?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I thought too. These segments too can become tags. You can easily search your database. I'm not even going to talk about that. All right, let's move on. So we talked about even, this kind of goes back to even the social media that you can use some of these, right? With your hashtags. So some customizing message examples. Matches the motivation of the segment. These are all things you got to keep in mind, like golf, right? Investor, dog lovers. Uncovers that they are able, oh gosh, I'm so sick of hearing myself talk. I'm giving myself a headache. Uncovers if they are able, ready, and willing in the time frame they are looking to do business in, includes a call to action. So let's say you're talking to a buyer who's like, listen, I'm renting for the next 8 months. You're going to see this a lot. And my lease isn't up for 8 months. You will want to tag them like in the range that they're going to be actually actively pursuing buying, right? Because your touches with them during the times, the months leading up are going to be way higher than, you know, someone who's not going to be selling potentially for 5 years, right? And then again, if you're working with a buyer who's looking right now, your touches to them will be a lot more frequent. Elicits an immediate response, direct or indirect, tells the person receiving the message how to contact you. Super important, right? Because everything, what does everything have to be? Easy, right? Your job is to make everything easy. So make sure you make it easy for them to contact you. The QR code is a very good way to do that. Helps the clients know why they would choose to contact you in the current market, what they get if they do. That's what we were talking about, building value and like talking about like closings and things like that, and posting great reviews you receive, things like that. That's all things that you should be sharing. Your messaging needs a method, a way to be communicated. We've talked at nauseam about that. Emails, right? Text messages. Facebook, Instagram, right? Mailers. Do you know why we do all those different ways of doing it? I know I keep calling you iPad Pro, but I don't want to keep looking up your name.
Oh, Mark, sorry.
Mark, why?
Why, what? I didn't catch the first part, sorry.
So why do you always come up with multiple ways of reaching out to people?
Well, I mean, you basically want the biggest net possible. If we're using the analogy of a fish, you don't want to just really target it. You want to start broad and then narrow once you start getting feedback, would be my approach.
And the other thing is, how many of you guys open your emails with ads?
With what?
With ads. Like if you know it's an ad, are you going to open it?
No.
How many of you would, if you get a text message, you would actually look at it?
More likely.
I do. And how many of you actually look at Facebook because you're bored on a Sunday evening? Right? So everyone's preferred means of communication are different, right? Some people love the email thing and they actually do open them. I think most people don't, but there are people that do, right? And your job is to come up with material that makes people want to open it. Okay? So that's why you're reaching out to people in multiple ways, because everybody's way of communicating are so different. Okay? And we talked about the touch campaign, so we're going to move on from that. All right. When you communicate, regardless of the message, segment, or touch, you always pair that communication with value. We've talked about this before. So some items of value might be items like market statistics, season prep checklists for homeowners, real estate forecasting data, schedule of local events and festivals. Like I told you guys, like the prettiest, I don't know, fall views or pumpkin patches for kids if you're, sending out things to people in areas with kids. What they want you to do is brainstorm a list of other items of value. Why don't you guys give each other some ideas? And I'm going to have you share it, but I want to mention a few things that you guys could be looking at. Local points of interest, Chamber of Commerce information. I know in Castle Rock, we have a very active Chamber of Commerce. I'm not sure where you guys are at, if you do, but we do. Preferred vendor lists, right? Homestead exemption form and general property tax information, local events. All right, so I'm going to give you guys 5 minutes again to talk about that. Hold on, I'm going to stop my share. View. Gallery. Okay, who wants to talk? Or I'm going to have to call on people.
I have to leave, but can I still watch this later, like maybe in YouTube, or can I get a link?
You're in Arvada. Ask Margaret, because they are being recorded. It's not in my Zoom account, so what they do with them.
Okay.
It's the Zoom account for Arvada. But I do know that they do have a YouTube thing up. I don't know what videos they're putting up though.
Okay, well, thank you for everything.
You're welcome. It was nice meeting you. Hopefully you got some information out of this.
I did.
Okay, good. So what are you guys supposed to be brainstorming?
Wow.
Some interest.
Some marketing things.
Yeah.
Right? Let's come up with some ideas.
Well, I love taking my dog places. So one of the things that I thought of was finding all the like dog friendly patios, just anywhere that I could bring her with me. And I know everybody seems like in Colorado has a dog, loves their dog. So
I know there's a bar in the Springs and it's a dog
Yeah.
bar.
It's amazing. I've taken, I've gone there. Yeah, it's really
too.
cool. Yeah.
I think that's an awesome idea, honestly. Anyone else?
Well, current could be like just, hey, who's going to join me for Oktoberfest or something like that. You know, seasonal is is a great way to market.
Or even just, if there's a specific Oktoberfest you're going to, sending them what the schedule is, right?
I was just gonna say, it's not even about marketing, just you connecting people with what's going on in your community. Like oftentimes I'll look at what's happening in Denver or like smaller areas, and I just post kind of like a breakdown in like a couple different spots, and people just don't really know where to look or don't want to. And I feel like you don't even really have to market your own things. You just have to be the one that's connecting them to that.
Anyone else?
Like going off that note, like I use Canva pretty frequently, so like I've built posts like on my social media. I can like try to show you guys about, like Taylor was saying, like local things going on in my community and like all around Colorado. So like it was like the weekend after Labor Day, I think. So like I did, like, you can't probably see very well. Oh, you can't.
Game day.
But
Yeah.
it's, so I did like CU Boulder versus whatever team they were playing. And then the Broncos game, yeah, you cannot see very well at all. I wish you could. If you want to go on my Instagram, it's Taylor the Realtor with 2 E's on the, and I did like 9/11 stair climb. And then I did like places I want to go. Like there's a Penny Arcade in Manitou Springs. And then I did like 3 of my local favorite restaurants. So like Bojo's Pizza, things like that. That way, like I said earlier, like it's getting people who are potentially moving here. Maybe they're moving from Arvada to Fort Collins. That's 2 completely different areas. So it's kind of getting them accustomed to like what's going on in their area. And now they know, instead of Googling it, they just come to my page and look on what's going on in their area.
Right, and then like there's some like funky ones. Like, have any of you guys been to the Manitou Springs coffin race? Oh my gosh, that's fun. Where people have like this race and they're pushing coffins that they decorate. So like my sister was in it one time with Fred Flintstone. So the coffin looked like, yeah. It's a lot of fun. I mean, there's some funky ones. They're like, they do pub crawls in Denver. Like they'll do like zombie ones, or right? Like just fun ones. Like things that people don't think about. So I mean, that would be awesome. Keep going. Sorry.
Maybe go to a event, a charity event or whatever, and donate a quality live or silent auction item that would maybe stand out, and touch base that way at the event.
I have an agent who lives in Elizabeth and has property. So she planted a bunch of pumpkins. And she's going to be giving pumpkins away, like outside, like a farming supply place. Oh, no, actually, she was going to do it at the horse rescue, I think, in the end, and invite everybody to it, right?
Another good idea is like when you post, like if you're posting about like more like personal things or things to do, like go try out some of those things yourself, or go to those places yourself and take pictures of you there, and then post that and go, hey, this weekend I went here, here, and here. Or like, or if you post a video about like, here's all the new places I want to check out, be like, I'll see you, like maybe I'll see you this weekend at this place, and like try to get people to actually go to those places. And then like what I do is I always tag the place, especially if they have like an Instagram page or a Facebook page. I always try to tag those places. That way, you know, they may reach out to me and go, hey Taylor, like I want to, you know, get with you and like maybe like have you come into our restaurant and host like a first time home buyer seminar or something like that. Like they may have you come talk to their employees or whatever it may be.
Or like an invite to something like silly, right? I'm going to do a paint by number at this bar, and you're going to guarantee the bar. And if people don't pay for their own drinks, you'll guarantee that you'll pay for 2 drinks each person, right? Do you know how many touches you can get out of one event? A a lot. Think about it. It gives you reasons to call, to text, to email, right? To thank, a card. You can get so many touches out of one event. We have one here at the office, and you could do something similar and just, maybe on a smaller scale, where we go to Lone Creek Farms because they have a pumpkin patch there. And we worked it out with the pumpkin patch that they give us a discounted rate for our clients. So we send them like coupons and stuff, and then we have a tent with water and we have drawings, and that's happening next weekend. You could do something like that. Or how about just a card or, a postcard and then an email, and then you can use the same marketing on all your different platforms, right? With fun pumpkin patches or haunted houses, right? Anyone else have any other ideas? How about Christmas? Oh my gosh. Right? Drive-through light shows. Or like all the places you can go and look at lights. Right? And like give people trips too, like Colorado Springs. Has anyone been to the zoo there?
Mm-hmm.
It's an awesome zoo, right? It's really cool. It's built in the mountain and they have zoo lights, right? Things like that. Anyone else have any ideas? Okay, then we will just move on. Okay. Oh, I forgot to reshare. Sorry, guys. All right. Share. Okay. Can you see again what I'm looking at? All right. So communicating with value, 19, so for leads, 19 to connect, 4 touches, quarterly phone call, 12 touches, monthly email newsletter, right? Market report video. And make sure you're not, you can get content and like create your own. So there are newsletters in Command. You don't have to use a whole newsletter, take pieces of it, right? You go to Bigger Pockets or the Chamber or whatever, take recipes and put it in there too, right? 2 touches, promotional direct mail, such as a magnet calendar, printed market report, etc. We just came up with so many cool things that you could be doing, right? And then 1 touch, an annual event, party, movie screening, get together. It doesn't have to be anything expensive. We had one of our agents who just had a barbecue, which I was kind of shocked because he's huge. In his backyard, he had 200 people show up. Never thought that, right? But you just, hot dogs and, hamburgers. Does that cost a lot of money? Taylor lives in an apartment. Hot dogs for the kids, hamburgers. 1 to cement a high value touch that solidifies the relationships you have just established and opens the door to future interactions, right? And then for your contacts, you're going to need 36 touches at the minimum. Now we're hearing people doing 50 and 60. And everyone's like, I'm not going to bug people. You don't have to, right? Because like I said, you have to keep in mind, everyone communicates differently. So they're not getting all those touches, right? So 36 touches to convert, 4 touches telephone calls, right? 26 touches bi-weekly email offering some type of information of value to the customer. You guys should have all of this like on a spreadsheet of what you're doing every month. 2 touches, events, get-togethers or parties. 4 touches, promotional direct mail such as a magnet calendar, market report, etc. Okay? All right. Sorry. Let me make sure I hit everything. Any questions on this? You guys heard, I'm sure you've heard about the 36 touch, right? So make sure you're doing at least 36 touches. Again, don't feel like you're bugging people. They're not seeing them all. All right. Oh gosh, guys, my voice is really going. All right. move on. So your smart database, like I said, you're taking your contacts. They gave you an example of like friends in your phone, adding them to your database, and that becomes your data bank. Because you're taking all the people you know in your phone, all the people on your email, all the people in your Facebook, right? And just combining all of those into a database. Aha. Okay, we're moving on. Servicing your database. The final law is to service all leads that come your way. This will come in the form of strong lead follow-up program, right? Here's another Gary Keller quote. I like Gary Keller quotes. Did you guys notice that? Your job is to build a community and serve the community. So what do we just talk about with like collecting paychecks with your clients? Is that how you look at every client as a paycheck? Like they're a piece of meat? No. You're there and you're gonna provide them with excellent service and make sure you're their advocate, right? And they're not getting themselves in trouble. It's the same thing. Do something you're passionate about that you love. If you love dogs, you know, join, I don't know, some rescue group, right? Domestic violence, if you're like, you know, like have had people, yourself or your family, join like start getting involved with the shelter, right? There's a ton of things you guys could do and do things you're passionate about. Don't just make them up. Like, don't go out and join like 7 different churches by different denominations. Pick one. If you're Catholic, if you're Presbyterian, Baptist, whatever, but get involved, okay? He thinks of his database as a community that he serves and he adds to. It's a great reminder that real estate is a relationship builder. Service all your leads. Plan for lead follow-up programs to leverage every opportunity. We've already talked about this. Why do you think it's important to service, to provide service to all their leads? If you don't answer them, do you think they have someone else they could call? Right. You better be on top of it. And I know every ounce of you does not want to answer all those phone calls you get. Answer them. And if nothing else, text them back if you think it might be a spam and say, hi, this is Sandy. I'm in a meeting. Would you mind if I give you a call back, or, you know, what do you need? Right? I'm on a Zoom call. A lead not followed up on becomes someone else's lead. This is what we just talked about. I can't tell you how many times I've had agents, they're like, they got like a lead, let's say on floor. And so I'll touch base with them. I'll be like, well, did you follow up with that lead? Yeah, I talked to them last week. Why aren't you talking to them again? What's the worst that could happen, guys? It's kind of like what I always said. I always taught my kids and my cousins. When you dance on a dance floor, who are the ones that have fun?
The ones that are dancing.
The ones that don't care. You should see me. I am the biggest fool when I dance. But now my family weddings are the best. All my cousins, everybody thinks exactly the same. What are people going to say about you? Oh, that's the girl that likes to have fun and dance. So what are people going to say about you? Oh, that's the girl who's trying to start a business. Is that the worst people could say? I mean, think about it. That's your job. So service those leads. Know that you're trying to help these people, right? And get business while you're doing it. It's important to service all the leads that you can, because that's a return on your investment, right? The time and energy that you put in. If you're not following up with them, don't even bother doing lead gen. Track your conversations, interactions, right? We talked about task management and command, right? Make sure you're following up with them, like put it in as a task that you're gonna follow up with them. Reward referrals. So if someone sends you a referral, do you have any ideas of how you can reward that person?
Doesn't that go back to the gifts you were talking about earlier?
Yeah,
Something small,
something small, 25 bucks.
or at least a note card, a handwritten note.
Yeah, and a Dairy Queen $10 gift card, or I don't know, if you know they like coffee, right? Or pop by their house with a bottle of wine or hot cocoa mix or something, right? There's so many things you could do. We just sent brownies on my team, you know, and a thank you card. And of course, calls. Like, oh my gosh, thank you so much, right? But there's little things you can do. And if you want to do something bigger because they really did something, just make sure you have your marketing on it. It has to have like your business name, Keller Williams, Avenues, you know, we're Action, Foothills. So just make sure that's on it, and then you can put it as a marketing expense. Oh, my voice. Servicing all your leads means tracking them from introduction to closing and beyond. Not once you close, does it mean you never talk to them again, right? That's how you get referrals. And people tend to make changes to their real estate. Do you guys know what the statistic is from the NAR? How many years?
7 to 10.
I heard 5 to 7, but it could have changed. Right? So keep that in mind. And sometimes people don't even know they're looking for a change. They got transferred or promoted or pregnant with their, I don't know, quads. They're having 4 kids, they need a bigger house. All right. So now we're gonna like just review. Well, we talked about this. You guys know about opportunities, campaigns, and the consumer app in Command. It's not really, I'm not really supposed to be teaching you a lot about Command, but if you do not know about these things, watch Marty Miller, because he's my boyfriend, and reach out to Chris or whoever is your tech trainer in your office, okay? Check out Command Your Database on Connect. Have you guys explored Connect at all?
Yep.
They actually have live trainings too. If you ever want, they'll have like a calendar on there and they'll show what's coming up. And then you could find stuff under technology and in KW University. Any ahas on that? Okay. So let's just talk about something like really quick. Again, these are the 4 laws, but I don't want you guys to get discouraged because I know that your databases aren't going to be huge right now, right? But we want you to think outside the box of how you put them in there. And a lot of people are afraid to because they feel like they're bugging people. But like how many times have I said, do you think those people are seeing all of your 36 touches? Heck no, they're not. And do you feel like you would be doing a service to for those people? Right. So always your mindset is huge. Okay, remember, don't quit too soon. Sometimes it can take 2 to 3 years to see a significant return, right? Make sure you have at least a 36 touch campaign. You have to have some kind of a campaign. And again, it's not necessarily going to be immediate, because what's the statistic again? 5 to 7 years, right? But in those 5 to 7 years, you need to be like top of mind until they're doing it again. And top of mind for referrals. That's how you build. We talked about mindset already. Think of mindset of long-term. Oh yeah, the National Association of Realtors, 7 to 10 years. I've heard 5 to 7, but whatever. Let's say 7. Come from care, right? People do business with people they know, like, and trust, and it could take time to establish all 3, especially with a new lead. You want to talk about challenging. Where I came from, they didn't know me. So I had to like prove myself, right? This is going to be so much easier for you guys if you actually have a plan. All right, so let's move on. I want you guys to write in your participant guide, if you have one, or just on a piece of paper, how they've grown in each of the areas. How has your thinking changed? What ideas or mindsets were new? What do you feel differently about? What was meaningful for you today? How will your behaviors be different going forward? What actions will you take? What tools, models, or systems will you use? How will they make you accountable? Okay, I'm going to just give you guys 5 minutes. We'll come back and talk. Okay? And pretty soon you're just going to be doing stuff on your own. All right, have you guys finished writing down answers to all 4, or are there still people working?
Still working.
Okay.
you.
Hey, bud. All right, you guys ready? Yeah, because we only have, this ends at 1. And it's already 11:45. So we should probably move on. All right, does anyone want to share, how has your thinking changed? What ideas or mindsets were new?
I can share.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
So I do know I need to go create a Google Your Business account or whatever that. Go check that out, figure that out, and do some postcards and be able to, with a QR code, be able to post those on people's. I love that idea Taylor did. Our space is much more expanded. It's quite the space between houses here, but I'd love to do something like that. Even if I go along the street and put them in the mailboxes, I think I'm going to do that.
Awesome. Anyone else want to share, or should we just go to the next question? Let's go to the next question because we're running out of time. What do you feel differently about? What was meaningful for you today? Mark, you want to answer that one?
Well, kind of going on the theme of casting the larger net, I'm going to get on Google business profile. I haven't done that. And do Instagram and then link them to my Keller Williams command account and the webpage.
Okay, great.
I did get a QR code for the Instagram account I set up this morning, so I've got that also. And then I'm meeting with Chris Voorhees on Monday, so I'm going to get all this sorted out on for all my technology.
You guys, he is a huge resource for you. And he's here for you. Just make an appointment. He has, I mean, you can book him online. I think he has a Calendly or something, doesn't he?
Yeah, and the nice thing is you can either do in person or Zoom, so you have both options.
And do you guys have command for idiots or whatever he calls it? What does he call it?
I mean, that's apropos.
Oh, why command doesn't suck. That's what it's called. Go to that. I mean, you have him right there and he'll answer questions, right? So attend. Nobody has any excuse anymore. I mean, there's 3 office resources for you guys. You have no excuse not to be knowledgeable with this stuff. I will tell you what, sometimes it's very disappointing as a PC coach. Do you want to know who comes to all of our like team meetings and masterminds and all of that? Do you know who he tends to come? Our most successful agents. Do you see a correlation? Right? There's a correlation. So, you know, make sure you're doing all of that. All right, I have education, like a class starting here, and I'm going to move to a different area while you guys were working. 2 more questions, and then I'm going to have you guys start working on something. How will your behaviors be different going forward? What actions will you take? Jackie.
Sorry, what's that?
I was asking Jackie.
Oh, sorry.
I
How will
think
your
I'm
behavior? Go ahead.
being more intentional and
Okay.
always trying to meet new people.
All right, great. What tools, models, or systems will you use? How will you make, how will they make you accountable? Taylor, Drum,
How will I make myself and others accountable?
what tools, models, or systems will you use? How will they make you
Okay.
accountable?
So I personally don't use Command just because that's my preference. I use Sherpa or HomeBot. And so like those are my database tools, and I use those in order to hold me accountable by making sure I'm making calls, making sure I'm checking in with people, or like I kind of just like am right now like outlining a little kind of like marketing plan, I guess you could say, or just like a plan in general of like my goals. Like I want to make this many calls a day. I want to do make sure I make 2 videos a week on my social media. I want to do this, I want to do that. And that way I can look back at that every week and go, did I do that? Did I do that? So kind of like a checklist.
Awesome. In Command, you can do the same thing. You create a task, until you click it off, it's going to be in your face. Okay? So for the next 20 minutes, I want you guys to do some role play. And because you guys are so small of a group, would you rather do it as a group, or would you rather do it like just 2 people? You tell me.
Either way.
All right. I'm wondering if you get more done if you do it in breakouts. So let me put you in breakout rooms, and I want you to like maybe like do something. Remember we did one with when you're making that first phone call, when you're trying to get people's information. Do some kind of role play conversations with that, around that. And then maybe like, let's say you're meeting with a buyer, because I think you guys seem maybe a little bit confused what you talk about. So maybe do like some kind of a role play with that, or whatever else you guys think you need help with. But let me put you all in break rooms. I'm going to recreate it. I'm going to assign you manually. How many people do we have now? Six people. So we need 3 now. Sorry. All right, I'm going to assign, so no one ends up with like the MPPC coach. There's going to be one room with 3 people. You're going to have 20 minutes, okay? And then we'll touch base again. All right. See you soon. I'm leaving.
Okay.
Hey, do you need the room?
No, you're good.
Are you sure?
Yeah, because we're gonna use the little conference room up front.
Okay, otherwise I can move.
No, you're
I'm
fine.
in here by myself.
Yeah, no, you're doing it, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
but.
Did we have Zoom now or?
everybody back? How did it go? How did it go?
Yeah. It went fine.
Okay. Did you all really practice or did you gossip?
I played the fifth.
I've taken Ignite, so I know how it works. All right, so we're just gonna go on to this first before we go on to the next exercise. So the success system, these are the daily things you guys need to be doing while you're building your database. Having 10 conversations, adding 10 contacts, doing 10 written notes. I know that some of your databases aren't going to be big enough that you feel like you can do this. So, you know what? Even if you start out doing 2 conversations, 2 contacts, and then I had this one PC coach say that you should increase like what do you say, by 3 every month. And if you can make that the goal, think of where you'll be in a year, right?
Yeah.
So just start somewhere, guys. I know you're all tired. I don't blame you. I'm tired too. So thanks for hanging with me. 10-5-1 social media engagement, enrichments, and then, you know, that should all lead to appointments, agreements, and closings, okay? Oh. If I move around at all on my thing, it doesn't let me do it. Keep in mind, if you're using lists of people that you don't know, have you guys signed up for the do not call?
No, sorry, gotta do that.
Because I don't plan on calling.
So make sure you're on the do not call registry. Do not let them con you into paying them. You get 5 area codes for free, but they're gonna make it look like you don't. So don't fall for it, okay? Please go back and read this. I'm supposed to redo this whole thing, but I'm not gonna spend our time doing that. Because just like I say in my presentations, you all know how to read. All right, so another Gary quote. Go figure. All right. I engage every conversation in the spirit of contribution, and people are happy to be in a relationship with me. And we talked about mindset and when you're calling people, not thinking that you're bugging them, super important. We already did this role play. We were supposed to do it for 20 minutes, but I felt like we were having great conversations, and to me, I'd rather you guys share amongst each other because we get ideas from each other. Look, I learned the Google thing with the QR code, right? So I think it's important. You learn from everybody, new and experience. Now we're supposed to be doing preparing your list. So your daily lead generation time consists of 3 parts. Prepare, when you determine who you will contact with today before you begin. So you make a list of who you're going to call, right? Take action, when you connect with people through the conversation, actually doing it, right? And it's hard sometimes, just not in the mood. But if you erase, just remember to replace. Because I'm sure you've been told about time blocking. So if you erase something from your time block, just replace. Maintain, when you update contacts in your database. So when you have these conversations, go in command or whatever else you use, put in that you have the conversation and create a task for the next one. All right, so we're gonna prepare your conversation sheet. What we're doing is we're gonna make a list of people you're gonna contact, okay? So only call people that you know won't like turn you in. So I know that you can buy lists and stuff. Do you guys know some of the places you can get lists? Let's say you're farming a community. Title companies, $5 usually will charge you for lists. Or the Kohl's directory, which is expensive, so you're probably not gonna have it. I know Margaret has her hands on one, but she pays for it with her own money. But otherwise, go to the title companies, okay? So I want you to take, we're supposed to do it for 10 minutes, but we're not going to. Just take like 3 minutes. Because you're not gonna have a huge list for today, correct? We don't have enough time. So come up with 5 to 10 names, okay? All right, does everyone have their list? Yep. Okay. All right, so now we're going to do this dreaded part. All right, so the real play activities are money-making activities done with the support and guidance of you and the other participants, right? Which I should be reading that. Every day at Ignite, we will spend 1 hour in lead generation activity. We're not doing that today. We're gonna probably do 20 minutes because we don't have that much time left. So just remember to come to a place of contribution, right? Get your mindset ready before you start making these calls. Use some of the conversations you just did your role play practice with, right? You can always ask, like, would they want to meet you for coffee, right? Just to kind of reconnect. And then make notes on, you know, on your call sheet you created. Just make those notes, okay? So we're gonna do this for 20 minutes and then we're gonna get back together, okay? Good luck, guys. Keep your cameras on. Is everyone off the phone? Don't make any more calls, okay? Is everyone off now? Okay, let's unmute whoever can, if you wouldn't mind unmuting. How did your calls go? Let's go one by one. Taylor, V, how did it go?
I'm actually just like blasting out some text just to get people in my database. And my high school, like one of my best guy friends just called me from that text and was like, oh my gosh, and was just reaching out. We were just catching up, seeing what each other were doing. Hopefully we can get some stuff planned. He's still back in California. I have plans to go out there and just visit my hometown, and we're just catching up. So it's just really nice, especially starting, just because you're just making all these connections or reconnecting, and it feels really good. So
And
good
make
support
sure
from
too, if he doesn't have an agent there, I have a friend of mine who's from, where's she from? Or not a friend, an agent here. We become friends. She was in my PC program and she had tons of connections like in Nebraska. She's had 4 referral fees in the last year.
Wow.
It's all added up. So say, hey, if you don't have someone, let me know. Cause you know, I appreciate the referral fee, right? Especially people you know. Okay, anyone else? Diana, how did yours go? Oh, no, go ahead.
Oh, I struck out. I had a banker down in Dallas that was daughter just went off to school at NYU and they want to leave Dallas. They were looking at places in Edwards or up in Summit County, but he just told me he sold his house this morning and they're moving to Santa Cruz or Silicon Valley. So
Oh, okay.
kind of
What would you do differently next time?
there's not much I could do. I mean, he was interested. He was interested. He's been looking at properties out here for years, but decided to go to California. He said he's only 4 hours from Lake Tahoe. So that
You
pretty
can
much.
still connect him to an agent out there too.
Exactly.
Well, that's a good point. That's a good point.
I mean, that's 25% referral fee you can ask for. And some agents ask for more, but if you do, I think you're pushing it.
Cool.
So,
That's a great tip. Thank you.
And then Becky, how did yours go?
Well, okay, so I was telling my team, my share group whatever our breakout room was, and that I'd been working on a CMA for somebody because she had referred me. Now I've been off and on contacting her. That's why I've been distracted today. But she referred me. She's a friend who's leasing who is moving, and she gave me a referral for her landlord, and I did a CMA for them today and sent that out. So sorry if I've been distracted today. Another thing is I did contact a new friend that I met on the playground when I had my grandson, and she had hers, and we're going to lunch on Monday. So I made that a
Awesome. Good job. Awesome. Now make sure again, because one of the things they want me to stress now is the follow-up, right? And not that you necessarily even have to follow up with her because you are actually, but update your database, right?
That's the hard part, is finding that time. It is very time consuming, and I have a long list of things now because I haven't been able to keep up with it.
The thing is,
entering it, but it's tough. It's time consuming.
you have to do it immediately after you do the lead gen. Because number one, you're going to forget about what you talked about, right? Even if you write it down, you will. I mean, I do. Like important things. So is immediately when you hang up, did you guys watch me? I was making calls. Immediately I was in there, and immediately I was creating new tasks for the next time I want to reach out. So I would recommend doing it immediately after. Like, don't say I'll do it later, okay?
That's the problem I'm having.
All right, who else? Jackie, how did yours go?
But I had reached out to my decorator yesterday and left her a message, and then she had texted me this morning, so now I called her back. And so we just caught up. I haven't talked to her for about, I don't know, 3 months. So that was good. I'm just really just following up on my vendors right now.
Yeah, I know you were mentioning that.
Yeah.
Okay, how-
So
I mean, that's good. You're still making connections.
yeah.
And the other thing is your buyers and sellers expect you to have vendors. So you,
Right.
I mean, don't forget, you're gonna need to screen these people. Right? How readily available are they? Right?
Right.
So even if you're not getting business from them, you need a pocket of really good vendors. So not a bad idea.
They have a lot of clientele too that they can refer to you.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
All right, Diana.
So kind of I just got I switched over from Android to iPhone, and my contacts because I had an iPhone a long time ago, and then my ex-husband's contacts and everybody who I shared the cloud with was in my contacts. So I actually spent the time going through and trying to clean up my contacts to see who are really viable people that I want to touch base with. Because most, like I had over 1,000, and probably 2/3 of them, I have no idea.
Okay. Well, make it a goal. Can you commit to doing even just 2 phone calls after we're done?
Yeah.
Because that's the thing, is how about you guys? You guys all agree it's getting started and then it gets a little bit easier? I mean, I still have anxiety when I'm starting to do it. So, but once you start making a few, then you feel a little bit better. And a lot of it's mindset, like I said. All right, Diane, I don't think I talked to you yet.
A couple of vendors, mainly voicemails. I did return 2 calls from yesterday and they're busy. They'll call me back.
Okay.
So
So what are you gonna do next time?
next time I'm just gonna keep calling more numbers.
Keep going. And then trying a different thing, try texting.
Yeah.
So next time if they pull the same thing, say, oh, I'm so sorry, I bothered you at a time when you were too busy. What time can I give you a call? And let's set up an appointment, right?
Yeah.
Because you're gonna get that a lot. I mean, I do it. Do you guys do it when you get people calling?
Time.
Yeah. And my husband has a weird last name, or first name and last name is Gerhard Whitty. So everyone calls and they're like, is Gerard White here? Nope, no one lives here by that. I'm not lying. There's no Gerard White there. But anyway, so, just try to have them commit to doing something, okay? And let's see, Sandy?
Yep,
How did yours go?
it went well. I actually only talked to 3 people and had to leave a message with 1. The most exciting one was an old tenant of ours that owned an ice cream shop. Her mom has passed and she needs to clean out her condo in Golden. So I told her I would help her with that. So hopefully that's the sale that I can make.
Right.
Cool.
And if not, it still makes you a good person
Yeah,
and a good friend, right? That's how
yeah,
you have to look at it.
yeah.
So good job. See, I mean, just having a couple phone calls made a huge difference, correct?
For sure.
And who else did I forget it? Oh, Mark.
I was the one that had the.
Oh, yeah, you did. I already did. Did I forget
And I just-
anybody?
And I just sent a follow-up text to say if you needed any help finding a realtor in California. So thank you so much for that tip.
Yep.
Kind of take it to the next step.
Did I forget anybody? I don't think so. All right. So I was supposed to ask you, does anyone else have anything they want to say that they would do differently the next time they're calling people?
No.
Again, I'm gonna share my screen with you. We're almost done, guys, I swear. I know it's a lot and I feel bad, but it is what it is. There's so much information. Let's see here, hold on. All right, so the update, oh, sorry, I kind of passed up what I want to talk to you about. Updating your contacts. We are not gonna spend time doing this. You can do this on your own. But my recommendation is I would do it probably immediately after, because you won't remember, like, even like you might write stuff down and then as you're typing, you'll be like, oh yeah, right? And then you're creating the task right away. I wouldn't wait. That's just my personal opinion. Celebrate your successes. You guys all had some, pretty good results. And like I said, that was making what? Phone calls for 20 minutes. If you need more help with command, you can go to command and there's like a little question mark and there's like a little help section there. And then remember we talked about going to connect is where you get a lot of those videos, and go visit my boyfriend, Marty Miller. So your next session is going to be session 7, capture leads with open houses. Any ahas for today? I hope this was worth your time. I know it's a lot of information and it's really long, and I appreciate you all hanging in there, and that's a really good start for you guys because we have a lot of new agents and look who's left. Right? And like I said, I mean, I was an assistant team leader at this office, productivity coach, and we are always amazed that the people that participate are the successful ones. And no one sees the correlation. So good job, guys.
All right.
And I guess I will see you probably next Thursday.
Thank you.
Keep up the
Thank
good work.
you.
Thanks.
Now go do something and not have to think and move around.
Thank you.
All right.
All right.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.